My name is Juan Manuel Carrillo Torres. I was detained by ICE and placed into Orange County facility in Theo Lacy. From there, I went to the dorms, and one day, for no reason, I was placed into solitary confinement. This solitary confinement actually became a disciplinary confinement because of the way we were treated. We were in a cell for 24 hours, or 23 hours, 23 hours. We had 1 hour for rec, to shower, to get a haircut, to make a phone call, to have a little day room. I mean, you had nothing else to do. I mean, you were there in the whole room by yourself for a couple minutes and back to your cell. This solitary confinement, as they would call it, was used to place a lot of detainees for no reasons, or because they dislike you, or because they thought you were a troublemaker. Sometimes no reasons. You were denied access to a computer. They always would claim that the printer didn't work or something was wrong with the computers, and it was hard for some of us because we had cases going on. We had briefs to write, laws to study, just to have a chance to remain in the country with our loved ones. I sometimes felt that detainees were placed, or not felt, I knew that we were placed in there sometimes because there was no other space. It was overpopulated. So they would place you in solitary confinement, which I call it disciplinary confinement. People sometimes were placed there to jeopardize their cases, to make sure that they didn't have access to a computer and get them to sign and get another one in, you know. So the confinement was used for PCs, which was some child molesters, some murderers, some rapists, some who knows what. And we were placed right next to them, not in the same cell, but we were next to them. I got to see one time when the doors were open, and this guy just ran into the other guy's cell and started punching him and hitting him, and I don't know what else he did to him, but all I saw was a lot of blood when they put one guy out. And we were next to these people, you know. They're there because the crimes that they did, and we were only being detained. You know, we were detainees, not inmates, and we're just waiting for the judge to make a decision if we were able to stay with our loved ones or not. In the modules, we were given a few minutes to shower. You ran down the showers, you know, jumped in the shower, turned on the water, and it was boiling hot. And we complained many times about it. I mean, all our requests, our issues always went unresolved. They never did anything about it. The water probably still to this day is hot, and it's boiling hot. I mean, you could burn yourself. And keep in mind, there was at least 100 detainees per modules. We were given one nail clipper, one hair clipper with no antibacterial or disinfectant solutions. But so many people that used it. I remember the nail clipper would pass not only to our module, but to the next module and the following module. I know that we were supposed to get a review every 30 days and get some kind of feedback stating or letting us know that if we're able to go back to regular population, but we never got any feedback or anything, nothing, you know. It's like we were just left there so we could just sign our papers or just give up on our cases and just sign off. This place, you know, they would open a cell at a time, and you would walk down the stairs, and they will open a middle little slot thing, pop it open, and they'll pass your tray. The tray was a meal, but it was smaller. It was like they did those real quick, like a spoonful, and everybody was hungry most of the time. Yeah, like I said, we were away from everybody, man. We had no contact with anybody, you know, and it felt like we had done something real bad, like we killed somebody or were murderers. I mean, just not having contact with anybody was tough. And going back to your cell and just have nothing to do, man. Just in there by yourself all day. I kept myself from going insane, I guess, just by reading and studying my case. And that was my whole day, every day. And I'll fall asleep thinking about it and wake up thinking about it. And because that's the only thing I had, you know. I shouldn't have to start a hunger strike, and I had to do that because it was wrong for everything. I felt like, you know, it was wrong. and I will fight for human rights. You know, a lot of us started talking to each other, and we're like, hey, you know, this is wrong, and everybody talked about it all the time, but nobody was doing anything. I mean, requests wasn't doing nothing. You know, we were not getting anything from the sergeants or whoever was in charge. But I know that us agreeing to start a hunger strike, in which most of the modules agreed to, there was 1, 2, 3 sectors that felt the same way. So we're talking about 300 detainees. And, you know, this is something that I did, or some of us, to be heard, so people will know what we were going through. The hunger strike didn't last too long, because I think after certain days, they didn't want it to pass that day, so they started listening to us, started promising, we're going to give you this, that. They did give a few more hours, like 2 more hours of day room, and that's what it started with. I don't know if everything was met to the needs or what we requested, because towards the end, you know, I was practically the last one that remained in a hunger strike, and they asked me, you're the last one, and what does it take for you to stop this hunger strike? And I said, well, I just want to be placed in a facility that I'm able to touch my family, hug them, and kiss them bye, you know. Or more important, just have access to a law library. Of course, I wasn't placed back into what I asked for, but they did send me back to the barracks. But by then, my case was almost done. I was lucky just because I made it on time, out of confinement. But how many people could do that? Not anybody got out. You know, when people saw me coming out the modules and going to the barracks, they were like, whoa, how did you do that? I mean, and I told them I had to go through a hunger strike.